thought it would be nice to start off kids in this area with an introduction to film production, how it works, how the industry works, how the actual production works, how the hands-on of shooting an actual motion picture works.
The script was easy to write, but it was just like the story and everything and the characters that was the hardest part.
What's your name?
Ian. Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ian Anderson?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Ian, what are you doing on this production?
I'm the screenwriter,
Yeah.
so I wrote the storyboard.
Well, I'm jealous of you guys already because I didn't have this opportunity when I was a kid to study filmmaking. And I just heard a little bit about your projects, and the teleportation sounds pretty wild. And I'm excited to see them eventually.
Okay.
How did you and Cameron Tapp work together since you weren't in the same room? How did you write your
We
screenplay?
used Celtics, and we just used that in email and stuff.
Did you find that worked? Were you able to collaborate well?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Who kind of came up with the idea?
Pretty much all of us
All of
working
you?
together, we collaborated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your position within this group? Are you?
I'm going to act.
So you're going to be an
I'm
actor?
and I'm also a screenwriter, and I'm probably going to help edit.
If you're not a good artist, if you're not a good drawer, you can do real simple stick drawings just to get your idea and just to get thinking about what your action is going to look like. So by the time you get your actors in place and your camera in place, you know exactly what that vision is going to look like.
Here we go.
Before you ask, Julian, we are doing a little interview just to kind of interview the screenwriters. So I wanted you to hear, and we may have some questions for you. Okay. So this is Luke's writing partner, and I'm going to get this iPad set up.
Okay, so
Bear
we'll be
with
able
me,
to.
Julian, okay?
No problem.
When we first kind of developed this pilot and discussed it amongst ourselves, I looked at these two. I said, you realize that we're going to learn more from them than they will from us.
Yeah.
Your screenplay is a little shorter in terms of length because there's not a lot of dialogue. Do you see opportunities for the descriptive action parts to really
I think
fill
I
some...
kind of wanted it to be a little bit shorter on the dialogue to allow for it to be a bit more mystical and allow more for the acting portion. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We don't have a name yet, but I guess it's sort of just untitled right now.
And what's the genre?
Sci-fi. It's sci-fi, action, and a little bit of comedy. Not a lot, though.
We were surprised to see so many kids coming in that wanted to play a role in this thing. And I was expecting most of the guys, the kids, the boys, would be interested in all the cameras and all the technology and things like that. But we found that very few of them were really interested in all that cool stuff that I'm interested in.
I wanted to elaborate more on it, but I just didn't. I just had to put the idea down first, and I didn't really have time to elaborate even more.
We also sort of have a little bit of the casting already.
Okay, so
So when last time when we were like coming up with the idea and everything, we also chose who's going to be who, so then we could sort of base the characters off of them to help build the characters, sort of.
Well, the one thing that I would suggest to anyone is if you have an idea and you want to make it happen, just go do it. Don't worry about whether you think it's good enough, or if it's smart enough, or if it's original enough, or if you don't think you have all the resources, because that'll hold you back.
do you kind of have a little name what you think the movie's going to be called?
Not really.
All right. So and so how do you think it's going so far?
Pretty good.
Excited?
Mm-hmm.
Does film production seem a little harder than you thought it might be?
Kinda, but it's kind of about what I expected. About the stuff that we had to do and the deadlines we had.
Okay. So this is kind of like Star Trek beaming people from one place to
Sort of,
another.
yeah, but then something goes wrong and it sends them like in between two dimensions.
This is really a wonderful thing for these kids to be involved in. Storytelling, business, using their minds in creative ways. And we are 3 people working from our own pockets. We have our own office and studio downtown Tryon. But we want to come here to tell you about what we're doing, but at the same time, we're asking for you guys to think about, from a service standpoint to the community, ideas of how we can be successful.
I tell people a lot that when I made my first film, that my sister wrote 3 books in the same period that it took me to make that first film. And I thought if I just, kind of just kept going and not been fearful about my first film has to be this amazing thing, that I could have made, done so many more things in that period. So I think you guys are already on the right track. You should go shoot this, and hopefully you guys will put it on YouTube and I can watch it and share it with people, and hopefully it'll lead to a lot of other films after that.
Thank you.